Often we play a game called Hit and Run. It's rapid-fire Q&A with a celebrity and with no hedging allowed. And they don't come any bigger than the Hall of Famer, Tim McCarver. Finest moment ever on a baseball field for you as a player?
The home run in the 10th inning against the Yankees in Game 5 in 1964.
Finest broadcasting moment ever for you?
Sitting next to Jack Buck and having him say, "See you tomorrow night," and then sitting to Joe Buck's right 20 years later and hear Joe say the same thing in 2011.
If not for baseball in this world, you would have done what?
I'm sure my critics would say I would probably have been a lawyer.
Word association, first thing that pops in your head. Mike Keenan.
Crazy.
Al McKinnon.
Lethal.
Ken Hitchcock.
Focused.
Wayne Gretzky.
The greatest.
One athlete from another sport you'd like to change places with for one day in history.
Oh, Babe Ruth. I grew up a huge Yankee fan, so to play at Yankee Stadium one time to be able to hit a home run, that'd be pretty sweet.
School earned more than 30,000 votes to be our high school football prep rally of the night. And what do you get for that? Frank Cusumano is there live. He joins us now.
That doesn't sound like much of a reward, Mike. Welcome to Melville. Big football game tonight. Pattonville is a really good football team, but his senior night, Melville has won 2 football games in a row. But as we know in high school football games, it's not just about the players, it's about the people around them. These are the majorettes. They are national champions, the best in the country. This group to the right, these are the Pantherettes. They finished second in the national championships. They are outstanding too. And then right here we have the cheerleaders. They may be the hardest workers. They're practicing every day for 2 or 3 hours. And I love some of the pictures here tonight. Don't look at that one very long because, well, that's not pretty. Now look at these two right here. Guys, come on up here for 1 second. They actually have a picture of the school principal. How about that? I think this guy kind of looks like John Lackey.
What about the shirts?
The picture, yeah, on your shirt too. Now, is this school principal? He must be really cool.
He's really, really cool. The coolest guy I know.
Really?
He's okay. I'd give him 9.5 out of 10.
Very nice. A popular school principal. That's absolutely amazing here. All right, we're going to play a little game here. Give me that football. Hey, Chase. Now, if this is Chase, he's a star soccer player. If he catches this ball, that means that Melville is going to beat Pattonville. Go. They are excited here tonight. Hey, I got to ask you, over at Pattonville, they think they're going to win this game. Who is going to win this game tonight?
That he actually puts in the letter that since he took ownership, they've gotten better. The Rams have improved.
Yeah, they're 36-59-1. The last thing I want to tell the world is I'm 36-59-1 at something. Look, granted, they improved slightly when he took over. But Ryan, if you would have taken over after Steve Spagnuolo and he went 1-15, they would have won 2 games for you. I mean, the audacity of him to gush about how they improved under him when they're 36-59-1. Another thing, he mentioned the word philanthropic.
Okay.
Well, this is an owner who has not talked to our city in 4 years.
Right. I think that was the last bite we heard from him.
Exactly.
What we
that
aired.
was historical right there. 48 months since he's last addressed the media. Now granted, they have some nice players that have done some good things, but for Stan Kroenke to characterize himself as philanthropic, that's a joke.
All right, so at the end of the document, by the way, you can read that 29-page document on KSDK.com. He puts in a Bill Plaschke column from the LA Times, was actually written this year, or last year, excuse me, last January, and it says, the Rams are our family, the Rams are legacy, the Rams were our first major pro team, and it goes on to say, basically, the first pro team to truly love LA, they would be welcomed home. That was the close it out.
Yeah, well, let me just tell you something, Ryan. The last time Los Angeles had a football team, they were dead last in attendance and nobody cared at all about that football team. So don't create this romance here in Los Angeles with the Rams because nobody was showing up and that's why they left.
All right, Frank Cusumano, I wish you were a little more passionate at times.
Sorry about this. I want our city to keep our football team.
All right.
Finally tonight, not sure if you were watching on Friday when Jim Thomas of the Post-Dispatch asked Commissioner Roger Goodell about our town and our future with the NFL. And Roger had the audacity to actually say this.
I spoke with the governor just a couple of days after the Houston meetings, and I told him when things settle down and you're prepared, let's talk about the future of NFL football in St. Louis.
So let me get this straight. The man who rigged the process and did everything in his power to make sure that Stan Kroenke could leave town actually said this with a straight face. I got to hear this again.
I spoke with the governor just a couple of days after the Houston meetings, and I told him when things settle down and you're prepared, let's talk about the future of NFL football in St. Louis.
What's next? Bernie Madoff going back to his investors and saying, I'd like to make it up to you. Come to prison so we can discuss things. The NCAA really doesn't think with their head much. South Carolina made national headlines this week by committing a violation for having excessive icing on recruits' cookie cakes. So that means somebody at the NCAA, a full-time employee, thought that this was important enough to go into the rule book. Now, because of the national embarrassment, they're backing off. But after all, this is the same organization 6 months ago who laid down the law on 3 Oklahoma athletes. The charge, excessive pasta. Yes, this is true. Too much spaghetti carbonara. Throw the book at those cheaters. And on this Father's Day, we pay tribute to those dads out there, the ones who woke up early on their special day to watch their kids play baseball in the rain in Edwardsville. That's being a father. My dad and I saw hundreds of games together. There we are at Wrigley Field. Everything I know about sports is because of him, everything. I wish you could have known him. He raised 6 rowdy kids, ran a business, and I never heard him say a curse word. Never. And he was one great sports dad, too. Never said a word to a ref, a coach, or a player. All he did was cheer. I wish I could be more like him. You know, the strange part for me is after he got Alzheimer's, you see, I would go to games and people would say my name. Hey, Frank. Hi, Frank. But the one person I wanted to have say my name could no longer do that. The man who knew me best didn't know me anymore. Every time I saw him, I said to myself, Dad, it's me. Call me Frank. Remember me. I'm not complaining, though. I got 45 years with the best dad in the world, and I can't wait to see him again one day. Happy Father's Day, everybody. On Thursday night at the University of Missouri St. Louis, history could be made. If McKendree University beats UMSL, Harry Statham will pick up victory number 1,099. That's one more than Pat Summitt, and that's the most of any coach ever at a 4-year school. Through the eyes of editor David Muth, we give you a story. Lebanon, Illinois was once the home of Charles Dickens, but not even Dickens could have written a script like this. On this campus at McKendree University, something special is about to be accomplished. Of all the people who've ever coached at a 4-year college, Harry Statham will have the most wins.
Well, it's hard to believe. You know, it's really hard to believe. I don't think about that, but I'm sure I will one day probably. But gosh, I don't really know. It's a great accomplishment. But I know very well. It's not because of me, it's because getting the right kind of players.
On Friday night, he was with his wife Rose at a high school game. At age 78, Statham is still recruiting hard and carefully. His Bearcat program absolutely positively won't recruit bad eggs, even if they're really talented.
Oh no, we screen very carefully. I don't know any knuckleheads, but a few guys don't fit, but not very many. Most of them are good fits.
In 50 years, you're talking a few guys?
A few guys. I mean, a handful of guys at the most. Handful of guys, exactly.
I could talk to present coaches, and they say they got a handful of guys right now on their roster.
I understand that. That's why we're probably not winning as many games as we'd like to win, because we don't gamble those kind of guys. We don't gamble. You take that guy in your program, you might work, and things might fall apart.
At the Division II level, Statham's teams are not quite winning as much as they used to. In the NAIA, Statham went to the national tournament 15 times and won 12 conference titles.
92-85, the upset win. How about that?
But they did beat Wisconsin Parkside Thursday night, their first ever win over a ranked Division II opponent. Harry is still watching more film than a movie reviewer, and the passion for perfection is still percolating, even in his workouts.
I work out twice a week with heavy weights, you know, with a trainer, and then I run a little bit.
And the man who has coached through 9 different presidents, nearly 1,600 games, and over 6,000 practices is trying not to get wrapped up in the record. And yes, he's still bouncing after 50 years.
This is great, but I'm a winner for McKendree basketball to advance in GOVC in the tournament. This is going to happen to me tomorrow or next week or something. I'm not all into this record thing. I want our team to win and our kids to advance. So I'm not caught up into it like some guys might be at an early age. I've been through a few milestones.
The milestones are undeniable, and the biggest one will come this week for Harry Statham. Let's just say there's a father up in the stands and his son's there, and the son says, "Dad, who is that guy?" What would you want the father to say?
Oh, I don't know. There's a guy that does it right, you know, does things right. He's a good coach, good person, good role model, demanding for the right kind of things for success in life in all areas.
You don't want him to say, "There goes the winningest coach in the history of college basketball."
Well, that's all right, too. Sure, that's okay.
50 years of coaching for Harry and 52 years of marriage to his wife, Rose. And fittingly, on Harry Statham Court, right next to his name, there's a beautiful drawing of a rose. They are literally together on and off the court. Oh, and the next time you head to Ballpark Village and that restaurant Cardinals Nation, be sure to take the steps to the 3rd floor because you are going to see a piece of art that will grab your attention. And after you watch this story, you will know how it was all created. Last May, the guy on the left, Connor Wright, called the guy on the right, Cardinals president Bill DeWitt III, with an idea.
First, when I heard about it, I'm like, well, you know, I get pitched a lot of things. I convinced him that he should just give me a 10-minute meeting. His idea was perfect for an area that we were trying to spruce up.
The idea was a 204-square-foot mural of Stan Musial made out of nearly 6,000 Rubik's Cubes, which Connor constructed at his house. Cube by cube. Then last Friday, he had to break it all down, box it, cube by cube, to transport it. Hours involved?
It's easily 400, but probably 500 hours. The design took 150 hours alone. I did 20 different drafts, and it's 54,000 pixels per draft, which you have to change by hand. And then the twisting themselves, twisting all the cubes, that took about 200 hours.
It was unveiled today with the Musial family on hand and Connor's classmates at Priory.
It's an incredible feeling. I feel so humbled to have so many people watching it and liking it, and I really am so glad that people are enjoying it.
And there was a romantic aspect of this day also. Connor asked Lucy Musial, Stan's great-granddaughter, to his homecoming dance.
Are you going to say yes?
I don't know, maybe. I'll consider it.
You can't say no.
I think
after
I have to. Of course, I would love to go with him. He's the best, so of course I would.
The two have actually known each other for a long time and have gone to other dances together. How could you say no to Connor? By the way, this was actually his senior thesis at Priory. I think I can safely say no one in history has ever done one like this. Ann?